Hi, how are you? I'm just testing if everything sounds good. I'm going to start in less than a minute. Let me check. Yeah, okay. Sound is good. So, yeah, I think we can start. Not sure if a lot of people will come today, but anyway, I'm going to record the video because, well, more people watch the video after I record it on YouTube. So let's go with the video. Okay, so, well, this is lesson 5 of this webinar series. So, well, in the past 3 lessons, well, in the first 3 lessons, we learned all the basics of Codoozer. Okay, so if you haven't seen them, you should before watching this today's video and the following videos, because in the first 3 lessons, I explained all the methodology that we use on Codoozer. Okay, and then in fourth class last week, I talked about how to use an online database using Firebase. So yeah, so today we will continue with this Firebase thing, and we're going to talk about one really important thing for almost big app. I mean, think of all the big apps you know. Normally, no, almost all of those, they ask you to register to enter an email and a password and create an account, right? That's because most apps are not only local inside the device, but a lot of apps use data on a server, right? Like last week we talked about the Firebase database. So a lot of apps use a backend. So normally they want to customize information for each user. Okay, and even if they don't want to customize, sometimes they just want to track their users' behavior and keep some track of the users and get the emails and things like that so that they can contact them in the future and things like that. Okay, so today we're going to learn how your users should create an account in your app. Okay, so for that we're going to use Firebase again. So I explained Firebase a little bit last week. I told you that Firebase is a set of tools that Google offers for to developers, to app developers or web developers. Okay, so they offer databases, they offer storage, so you can store files from your app. And well, I'm going to use the same project as last week. And one of the features or the tools they offer is this first one that says authentication. Okay, so this is for controlling or handling the user access to your app. Okay, so when users, I mean, you don't need to create a backend for this because Firebase will provide all this technology on the server. Okay, so it's going to be very easy for you. So yeah, this is the first tool here. I'm gonna click it. Well, I'm not going to explain today how to set up Firebase. Okay, that's in the previous week. So I'm going to assume that you already know how to create an account on Firebase and set up your app. Okay, well, in fact, I should have used last week's project because, yeah, this is a new project for today's webinar. Let me check if I have lesson 4. Yeah, I think it's here. Yeah, we had this cards example. Okay, yeah, the thing is that in this project we already have Firebase installed, so I think I'm going to use the same project. Basically, I will remove everything, or yeah, let's remove all the views. I'm going to create a new view. I will call it like sign up. Okay, I'm not going to create the view now. Okay, first I'm going to set up Firebase, but I just want to have some things almost ready. Okay. So let's go back to Firebase. Well, remember that you have to download the Google services.json file from here from project overview. You can add your app to the project and then you will get this file, this JSON file, and you just need to drag and drop it to Codoozer. Okay, and it will appear here. and then here on Android you will see this Firebase. Okay, so well, we have to activate the authentication. Okay, here in our Firebase configuration on Codoozer, you have to just enter this authentication parameter and set it to true. Okay, this is going to tell the app that we want to use Firebase authentication. Okay, so all the source code will be generated in order to use Firebase authentication. Okay, so here on Firebase, you need to go to authentication, and first thing you have to do is to set up a sign-in method. Okay, so you can go to the second tab here or click this blue button. Okay, and well, you can, I mean, there's a big list of different sign-in methods you can use, but the thing is that in Codoozer, now we only support the email and password and also the anonymous one. Okay, well, the anonymous one won't ask the user for an email and password. It will just create a session in your app. Okay, so it will be like an anonymous user. It will have, I mean, the user will have an ID generated here on Firebase. Okay, but I mean, for the user, it will be totally transparent. Okay, so you normally you want to activate this one, the email and password. Okay, I guess in the future, in maybe next month or so, we will start adding some other methods. I guess we will add the Google, Facebook, and Twitter, maybe. Okay, so click here on the email and password and just enable it. Save. And this is everything you need to activate Firebase authentication. Okay. And for Codoozer, you just, again, you just need to drop the JSON file here. Okay, this one, the Google Services JSON. Okay, it's really important that, I mean, for every app, there's a different Google Services file. Okay, if you create one project with one app, you shouldn't use the same file for different apps. Okay, because, I mean, here is the package name. Okay, and this one must be the same you are setting here on the app JSON. Okay, so well, now that we already have configured everything, I'm going to start creating the form. Okay, so basically I'm going to create like two screens, two views. One will be for the user to create an account, and the other one will be for existing users to just sign in. Okay, so normally, I mean, if it's the first app, first time users use the app, they won't have an account. So we will start with a sign up view. Okay, this is the one I just created, the sign up. So here on the event of the app on start, I'm going to link with the sign up app. Okay, so basically I'm going to always go to this sign up app. Okay, this is not the thing that we really want, because normally with Firebase authentication, when a user is logged in, even if they close the app, the session will remain there, maybe for 2 weeks, or I'm not sure, maybe for forever, I don't know. But the thing is that next time they open the app, we don't want to show them the sign up view, right? We just want to let them open the app and start doing things. Okay, I will talk about that later. But first, we are going to force always to go to the sign up class. Okay, so well, I'm going to, for this sign up view, I want like a simple wrapper, a full screen wrapper. Okay, I'm going to create a new wrapper. I will call it full screen. Okay, and I'm not going to add anything here. I don't want an action bar, neither a drawer, neither a pager. Okay, so it's going to be full screen. So here I'm going to use this full screen wrapper, and the title can be sign up. It doesn't really matter because it's full screen, so I'm not gonna see my title on any action bar. Okay, it's going to be invisible, so you can put whatever you want here. So what else? Well, history. We can use history false. Okay, I'm not sure if you remember what this is for. So the thing is that after signing up, if they go to main screen or main view and they press back, you don't want the user to go back to the sign up view, right? you just want them to close the app. So this is why you don't want the sign up view in the navigation history. So I'm setting this to false. Okay, so I'm going to start with designing the form. Okay, I'm going to do this quick. I guess you already know how to design your view. So I mean, if you have any questions, you just can use the chat and I will answer. But let me do this quite quick. Okay, so I'm going to start with an image, and I have one image ready, which is, for example, this one, Bay Bridge. Okay, I'm going to set position absolute, so it's in the background, and no, not source, sorry, scale, crop, and height 100%. Okay, so so over this background, I'm just going to create a small form, right? So I'm going to create a group. It's going to be sign up form. I will put it maybe in the middle. Okay, it can be like 90% width, H align center. Okay, and I will add some title with a text. Create an account, for example. Well, I'm going to use some font. Let's make it a bit nicer. So I think I have some font here, maybe this one, or this one, Rocket maybe. Okay, font. No, this is not the one I wanted, but anyway. Color, I can use maybe white. And let's make it a bit bigger, like 36. Text align center. Okay, that could be well, I mean, I should have more contrast, so maybe I could use like a darken background. Okay, but it's not really important in this webinar, so forget about it. Okay, so well, this is for creating an account. Then I will need some input. It's going to be email input, for example, and with a margin on the top of 48. Yeah, it's a bit dark, but I can use maybe a white background. Okay, yeah, that could be. Okay, yeah. Well, let's use a hint that will say email. Okay, and then I will use a source, so everything the user types here will be stored in this reference. I'm going to call it like property dot email. Okay, so this is the property that will store whatever the user types here. Okay, so I'm going to do the same for the password. Okay, well, let me use lines to 1 and format email. Okay, then for the other one, I'm going to call it pass input. The hint is going to be password, and the source is going to be pass, for example. Okay, so whenever the user types something here, it will be stored in the pass property. And then format can be password. Okay, so it will show asterisks. Okay, so we're almost there. And finally, we need a sign up button. Okay, so I'm going to create a button. that will say sign up. It's going to be background. Let's use some accent, for example, this one. Some padding, like 12, for example. Some text align, center, and some margin on the top. Like 48. Okay. Well, this is really simple. I know it's not the nicest form, but I mean, I just want it to work. So let's call it like sign up button. Okay. So, well, since this is the first part of the webinar, I just need to finish this part, like adding the action to this button. Okay, so the thing is that for creating accounts, you don't need to use an add-on, or you don't need to, I mean, you are free with Codoozer to create your own style, your own design. I mean, you don't even need a form if you already have the email and the password in some references. Okay, so I'm just doing this form because, you know, it's a common thing. Okay, but it's not mandatory. I mean, you're free. The only thing you need for signing up or logging in is to use the action. Let me use on click, and you just need to use this function called sign up. Okay, so if you do this function, it will try to use Firebase authentication to signing up, to create an account. Okay, so here you just need to enter a password and an email. Okay, but since I'm using a form, I have these values in the references related to this form. Okay, so I have the password in here in property.pass, and I have the email in property.email. Okay, the provider is always Firebase. Okay, now we only support Firebase. And then if you click on the plus button, well, you have the if. This is a condition. Okay, if you want to make sure that the user entered an email, things like that. Okay, then you have this, you see these values that they all start with on. Normally everything that starts with on means it's an event. Okay, so the thing is that with the function sign up, we can control what happens after we sign up or we try to sign up. Okay, you see this on exist, the on invalid, on valid, and on weak password. So imagine the user enters a password that only has like one character. Okay, so Firebase won't allow to do the signing up, and it will give an error. Okay, so you can control that error by using this event. So if you create this event, you can set functions. I mean, the things you want the app to do if that event is called. Okay, so normally using this event, you will need, I mean, you will want to use some dialog. Okay, for example, in the on weak password, we're going to create a dialog. I'm going to create call it like weak password, for example. Okay, so here, in case they enter a bad password, I just want to open that dialog. So I'm going to use the function pop-up, and the dialog will be weak password. Okay, and here on the dialog, you can use something like title error, and text can be like your password must have at least 3 characters. Try again, for example, and then one simple accept button with a label that says accept. Okay, so this is my dialog. Okay, let's go back to sign up form. Okay, now I'm controlling this error. If this error happens because the user enters a weak password, then I can use also the on exists. This means that if the user is using some email that is being used by another user or by himself, okay, then it won't be able, I mean, the app won't be able, or Firebase won't be able to create a new account. Okay, so it will return with an error. Okay, so this event will be called. So we can create another dialog like user exists, for example. Okay, it's going to be almost the same, title error. Buttons like positive, like label accept, and the text, and this email is already in use, please try again. Okay, so this is my dialog. Let's go back here. And so for the onExist event, I'm going to use again the function pop-up, and the dialog is going to be user exists. Okay, then I have this onInvalid. So this will be called whenever the user did something wrong, like entered an invalid email or something. I mean, something went wrong. Okay, maybe bad internet connection, things like that. So you can create a new dialog, invalid sign up. Invalid sign up. It's going to be again error, positive, like label accept, and the message can be something went wrong, please try again, or please check your email, or things like that. Okay, so pop up, invalid sign up. Okay, so yeah, I'm almost there. And finally, I have another event. This is the onValid. So if everything went correct and the account was created, then this event will be called the onValid. So after the account is created, then I can start with my app. So since it's the first time, I mean, since they are using an account, maybe you want them to add some information to their profiles, to create a profile. Okay, enter their name or their age or anything. Okay, so I'm going to create a new view. It will be called like edit profile. So when the sign up is valid, I just want to go to this edit profile screen. Okay, yeah, so well, I think we're done with the sign up. I'm going to export to APK. Okay, and I will show you on my phone. Okay, something's wrong. Okay, let me check. Parameter wrapper is missing in edit profile. Yeah, I have to finish this edit profile. Wrapper, main wrapper, and title. Add your info, for example. Okay, let's try. Oh, something wrong again. Must have value. Views, edit profile. I'm missing something here. Okay, I think I have to add some content, maybe. Let's add a text for now that will say profile. Okay, now it seems to work. So let's wait like 30 seconds or 1 minute. Let me close the door one moment. Okay, I'm starting the phone. It was out of battery. Okay, it was fast. Let me scan it. QR code and use Visor to show you my phone. I'm going to show you here. Okay, so here's my app. Let me here install. Hi, Sonny. How are you? Don't worry. I guess you know how to do this already, but thanks for being here. Well, so here I have my form. Okay, you see my two input texts, the email, password, and the sign up button. So, okay, so I'm going to start doing maybe something wrong. So I will do something like this bad email, and for a password I can use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, for example. Okay, so now I'm going to click on sign up, and you see, I see this error, something went wrong, please try again. This is because I entered a wrong email. So I'm going to, well, I can do a bad email like hello fakeemail.com. Okay, and now I'm going to enter like a, oh, sorry, my phone. Okay, like a 2-character email, for example, only 2. So I'm going to click on sign up, and I get this error. Okay, so I'm going to enter like 3 and 4, and now I click on sign up again. Yeah, I think my connection is a bit slow. What happened here? Okay, maybe it's not only about the length. Maybe I cannot only use numbers. Yeah, I just enter numbers. Yeah, so yeah, I guess the weak password is not only about the length of the password. So I was wrong with the 3 characters thing. I guess you have to enter some letters like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or maybe it's 6. Maybe it's 6 characters. I don't know. You have to check. Sign up. Okay, and you see, now I went to this, not now, to this add profile or edit profile screen. Okay, so and if you refresh here on Firebase, you will see that I have this user already. Okay, so the account was created successfully. Okay, and well, here you can see some info like the method it used, like the email, identifier, then the date, and also this here, the user ID. This is very important because we are going to use later this ID. For example, if you want to customize the information of this user in the database, okay, then we will create documents with this ID. Okay, we will see this in the last part of today's webinar. Okay, but now let's go to the second part. So, well, I already created the sign up. Okay, but sometimes the user already has an account. Okay, or maybe you don't want users to be able to create an account from the app. If you're creating an app maybe for your school or for your your company, okay, maybe you just want to publish your app and send the password to the users, to your customers. Okay, so only them can access your app. Okay, so here on Firebase, you can create users manually. You can enter their email and set a password. So you can give them this password, okay, so they can just log in the app, but without a sign up form. Okay, that's also possible. Okay, but in my case, I'm just going to add some button here in case they already have an account. So below this sign up button, I'm going to clone it, remove the background, and use color white, for example, and I will write here something like I already have an account. Okay, let's do this a bit smaller, like 16. Okay, so if they click here, I just want to go to a different view. It will be the login view. So I'm going to create a new view called login. So if they click on this, I already have an account button. No, yeah, here, let's remove this function and add the go to, where is it? Here, go to login. Okay. So yeah, let's create now the login screen. It's going to be login, the wrapper, again, full screen. And well, in order to be quick, I'm just going to copy this whole, well, the background, paste it here, login background. And also I'm going to copy the whole form. Okay, I'm going to call it like login form. And the text is going to be like welcome text. It will say welcome back, for example. Okay, and well, and here's one thing. So I can use the same property here, the same source. Okay, but if I already wrote something on the previous, on the sign up view, so maybe this reference already has a value. Okay, so if I keep using the same reference, in case it already has a value, it will appear here when coming to the screen. Okay, what we can do, we can just remove, for example, on preload, we can do this delete at property.email and also at property.pass. Okay, maybe you want to keep them. Okay, it's up to you, but let's remove them. Okay, now this button will be, instead of sign up, it's going to be login button. Login button. Well, let me add also the history false. Okay. So the login button and then the go to sign up button. Now it's going to be the opposite. Okay, if they are on the login screen and they already have an, I mean, they don't have an account, so they should be able to go back to the sign up. Okay, so I don't have an account. Okay, and I will change the on click, and now I will use go to sign up. Okay, well, you see this, I'm not using the back function. Okay, because if I click on back, if I use the back function and they click here, they will try to go back to the previous view. Okay, and the previous view is a sign up, but the sign up has history false. Okay, so if you put here a back function, then they will close the app. So that's where I'm just using a go to sign up. Okay, and well, now the login button, it's going to be log in. And well, now I have to change this function. It's going to, well, let's remove this one and let's use the function log in. Okay, so now we need the email, property.email, and you see that now the password is not mandatory. Okay, so this is because sometimes you, in case you want to use the anonymous login, you can, I mean, you don't need a password, but also if you want to recover the password, then you can use the login. I mean, we will see this later. Okay, but you can use the login function with a password in order to tell Firebase that you just want to recover the password. Okay, so the user will get an email with instructions. Okay, so but now we are going to add this password or pass parameter. And again, it's going to be on property.pass. Okay, what else we have here? We have the forgot. In case you only put an email, don't put a password and click on forgot and true. This is for recovering the password. Okay, but this is not the case now. Then I have two events. I have the on invalid and the on valid. Okay, and you can imagine if I select on invalid, will be any error. If the user enters a bad email or a bad password, or that user doesn't exist on the database, something like that, it will return an on invalid event. Okay, so I can create a dialog, sorry, called bad login, for example, and have error for buttons. You can use label accept, and here you can put the email and or password you entered are wrong. Please try again. Well, maybe if there's no internet connection, you will get the same error. So maybe you can put all the information here. Okay, but anyway, I just want to finish this example. Okay, and on invalid, let's do, where is it? Pop-up, sorry. Bad login. Okay, and for the onValid, I just want to go to the main view. Okay, not even the edit profile, because I guess at this point, if they already have an account, they must have already a profile. Okay, so I'm going to create another view called main view, for example. So if it's valid, I will take them to the main view. Okay, and this main view, I need to use the main wrapper and main view as a title, and here I will add a text that will say main view. Okay, well, and also for the edit profile, I'm going to create, I don't want the main wrapper. I just want to some new wrapper only with an action bar. It will be like profile wrapper, for example, and the edit profile, it's going to be profile. So here I'm just going to add an action bar without the back button, maybe. Yeah, that's it. And for the main wrapper, I will have an action bar, but also a drawer, for example. Okay, so I want this. Okay. And so I'm going to use this menu for adding the logout, because the thing is that if we are using a login function, okay, after they use that, they will start a session on that device. Okay, but I mean, if you let the users sign in or sign up or sign in your app, you should also let them sign out. Okay, because maybe they are using some other person's device and they just want to sign in temporarily. Okay, but they don't want to keep the data on that device. Okay, so I'm going to use this menu with only um, one option, option log out. The title is going to be log out or close session, something, anything. I guess it should be like this. Okay, and the action is going to be just log out. And after logging out, you should maybe take them to the login screen. Okay. So the thing is that if they go to the login screen from the main view, since the main view is in the history navigation, I mean in the navigation history, if they go to the login and then they press back, then you will have a problem, okay? Because whenever they click on logout, you don't want them to have access to the main view, okay? So you should use before logging out, no, or well, after logging out, for example, you should do this function called finish, okay? And put it here on top of this. Okay, this function is new for you, I think. This means that you want this view to be removed from the navigation history, but after changing to a new view. Okay, it's a bit different like history false, but you only want to remove this function in this case. Okay, if they click on logout. Okay, so this is why you sometimes need to use the function finish instead of the other one. Okay, so yeah, let's go back. I think I'm almost done. I have the login with this button, the main view with the logout. Okay, so yeah, let's export and let's try again. Well, after this example, I'm going to do the password recovery thing. Okay, I will use some dialogs, and it's going to be very easy. Okay, something went wrong. I'm going to try again. You know that sometimes you get this error. You just try again, and it works. If it fails and keeps failing, maybe there's some error in the app. Okay, but sometimes it's only because I mean the server is just freeing some memory, and at that exact point the generator doesn't work. But you should always try again. The thing is that we are using a temporary generator. Okay, so in some months we will make an infrastructure better for that. Because we wanted to focus on finishing the dashboard and creating the iOS compatibility and some other things. Okay, you see? So let me scan again. Here's my okay, and I have this. I'm going to try this user. I'm not sure if I remember the password. Well, the thing is, if I open the app, now the app has a session. Okay, but well, anyway, it's going to take me. I mean, the user is already logged in because I mean I already signed up on the previous session. Okay, so the session still exists. Okay, so normally in this case, I would love to go directly to the main view, not to the sign up, because in this case, I really have a session now open. Okay, but anyway, I can log in again, I guess. So I'm going to click here on I forgot the R. Okay, so now this is the login screen, you see, without the email. So I'm going to use the same hello at fake email dot, but let me change the email like IO, and the password can be A B C D E F, maybe, I don't remember. Okay, so if I click on login, I will get the error because the email is wrong. You see? Okay, so let me change this to .com. I click on login. No, maybe it was only without the F. No. Okay, I don't really remember the password. I enter A, B, C, D. Maybe. No. Okay, E. No. F. No. G. Mm. Okay, maybe I wrote it wrong in the previous session, I guess. Uh, yeah, okay, so let's create a new one. Okay, let me use here, I'm going to create it from here. Hello at fake email.com, fake email 2, and password A B C D E F at user. Okay, let's see, fake email 2, and password is going to be A B D E F. Can you believe that I don't remember if I enter the G? Ah, okay, yeah, it was without the G. Okay, so now you see the login was correct. Okay, so it took me to the main view. Okay, but the thing is that, well, I have this option, log out. It will take me to the login again, and if I click on back, it will finish the app. Okay, this is because the finish function. Okay, so how can I do that in case they didn't log out in last time they used the app, take them to the main view if there's already an existing session. Okay, but so this is very easy. Remember, there's this ID. Okay, so you can access this ID anywhere in your app. Okay, so this is the way you can access it. So for example, in this event, on start, we just want to go to the sign up view in case there's no session, existing session. Okay, so I'm going to use here the if. So go to sign up only if, and you can use this Firebase, reference to Firebase. Now the product, which is user, this is for authentication, and then ID. Okay, so this is the way you can get the user ID. In case there's a session open, you can always access that ID using this firebase.user.id. Okay, so if this is null, N-U-L-L, okay, if this is null, it means that there is no existing user already. Okay, so there's no session in the app. So in that case, you want to go to the sign up screen. Okay, and now and this is new. You can add this else. Okay, this is from last week, I think. Okay, so now you can do, I mean, if the Firebase user ID is null, then do this, the go to sign up. Else, I mean, if it's not null, then go to main view. Okay, and well, let's go to the main view, and here in this text, I'm going to use a source, and I'm going to, so that you can see, use a source as firebase.user.id. Okay, so you will see. Okay, let's create again. By the way, in the meantime, let me tell you one new thing. I mean, this is very simple, but we just added it yesterday. You can use there's a new reference called, I mean, in case you want to get the language of the user, of the device of the user, you can use this new reference, for example, property.lang, and you can use this. It's super simple, but app.lang. Okay, so this will give you like English, Spanish, the whole word. Okay, but if you only need like the ISO code, you can use ISO. Okay, so this will give you EN or ESIT. Okay, then you can use the ISO 3. Okay, and you can also use this region. Okay, so in this case you will get something like what can I write, you will get something like this, like en underscore us. Okay, if it's in the US. Okay, but if it's in England, I guess you will get UK or GB. I'm not sure, I think it's UK, something like that. Okay, anyway, that was just something short while generating the app, but let's scan again. One moment. Install. Now I should go directly to the main view because there's no session. I clicked on logout. Okay, but let's see. Okay, so I already have an account. Let's type here hello at fakeemail2.com and the password ABCDEF. Log in. Okay, now you see my user ID. Okay, so now I'm going to close the app. Let me really close it. It's called lesson 4, I think. Lesson 4. This one. I'm going to force stop. Oh, you're not seeing the app. Sorry, let me. Oh. Okay, force stop. Okay, so now there's a session because I just closed the app, but last time I didn't click on logout. So if I open the app, it should take me to the main view, you see? Now if I click on logout and then I close the app, if I open it again, it will take me to the sign up. Okay, this is because the thing I use in the on start event. Okay, so let's do another thing. Now we are going to do the forgot my password thing. Okay, so here on the sign up, no, it's be on the login. Well, by the way, you should normally in the sign up form, you should also add some checkpoint or add some privacy policies. Okay, that's mandatory for Google Play. Okay, because if they are going to give you like their email, you should have some privacy policy. So you should have also here something like read the policy, something like that, and then you can use a switch. Okay, so well, I can do the switch thing really quick. I mean, not the whole thing, but imagine that here you have the sign up form. You could add a switch. Privacy switch. Okay, and here you could have some property like add property like policy accepted. Okay, so if they click, I mean, you should put also one text like I accept your terms, or I accept the privacy policy, and some link to read the whole policy, something like that. Okay, and then you could show a dialog with the whole policy, something like that. I'm not going to do that because that's basic, but if in case you do that, normally in the sign up button, you should do, before the sign up, you should do something like pop up. You should have a dialog that says please accept the policies. Okay, and then you should put something like if at property dot policy accepted is not true. Let's try something. Okay, so in this case, so if they didn't click on the switch, you are going to pop up a new dialog. It should be like accept policies dialog, something like that. Okay, and here you could do something like else, and now copy this here. Okay, you should do something like that. So pop up the something like that. Accept policy. I mean, it doesn't exist, but anyway, imagine that it exists. So pop up the accept policy dialog if property policy accepted is not true. So if it's still false or the user didn't select it. Okay, and else, I mean, if it's true, then do this, the sign up. Okay, you should do something like that. But let's try this one because in that case it won't work. Okay, so yeah, let's do the forgot my password thing. Okay, so maybe below this login, let's clone this one and put it up, and forgot link maybe, and remove the margin, or let's do it like very small, 12, and the text could be I forgot my password. Okay, and we should have a dialog for forgot password. So here on the on click, I just want to do this pop up and forgot password. Okay. Okay, so in this dialog, you can use forgot password as a title. And now we can have two buttons, one for canceling, cancel, and one for sending the email, label send. Okay, and now we could have a content with a text that will say please enter your email and we will send you the instructions to reset your password. Okay, and now one input, with a source that can be, it can be the same, like property.email. So in case they already wrote the email. Okay, Sonny, I didn't see you. Yeah, see you later. Thank you, by the way. Property dot email, and then that's it. I just need to put an action in the positive button. Unclick. And now we need the login. Okay, so the email is going to be property.email, provider Firebase, and now we have to activate the forgot option. Okay, and we don't need a password. Okay, so you do this, then it will tell Firebase to send an email to the user. Okay, and that's it. And well, we have these two events again: the uninvalid if Firebase couldn't send the email, and the onvalid if the email was sent. Okay, so now you should have two other dialogues, or well, you don't always need dialogues. You can just add some text here, invisible text, and just show the text once the event is done. Okay, but since I'm doing dialogues, let's finish with dialogues. Email sent, for example. So on valid, I will pop up the email sent, and then email not sent. So the on invalid, I will show another dialog. Email not sent. Okay, so the email sent could be info. Let's try to do this quick. Text, we already sent an email with the instructions to reset your password. Password. And one button, positive, label, accept. Okay, and the email not sent should be error text, something went wrong and we could then send, or something went wrong. I mean, because if they enter an email that doesn't exist, it will say invalid. So something went wrong. Please try again. You can say maybe your email is wrong or something like that. Buttons, positive, label, accept, and on click. You could do like open the other dialog again, like open, no, not open, sorry, the pop-up, forgot password. Okay. Okay, and I think I already have it. Login, let me check. Email not sent and email sent. Okay, so that's it. Okay, let's try. Well, after this, oh, okay, it's been 1 hour now, but I guess we have some little time to create the profile view. Okay, so now that we know how to create an account, I just want to start teaching you how to use the user ID to store information for this specific user. Okay, it's going to be quite fast. Okay, so let me scan this example. I already have an account. I forgot my password, so please enter your email. So my email was hello. What's happening? Hello at fakeemail.com. Okay, the thing is that I, I won't be able to show you the email. Okay, but well, let me use a real email address like this: support at dojo.email. The password can be like random, like ABCDEF user. Okay, so let's use this support at dojo.email. Wow, keyboard is really small. Okay, so if I click on, if I click on cancel, it will close the dialog and nothing will happen. But if I click on send, okay, we already sent an email with instructions, accept. So I should see that email if I open Thunderbird. Support. Okay, so here's my email. Okay, this is the email that Google or Firebase sent me. Okay, follow this link to reset your password. Okay, the thing is that this text can be changed in here. You see these templates. Okay, so here you can change the text you want to appear on the email. Okay, for email address verification, we are not using email verification. We should do it, but I didn't activate it. This is for password reset. Okay, you can change the text. Okay, and also in case you want to use your own email server so that they get the email from you, not from Firebase, you can you can add your own server instructions here. Okay, okay, this is just like configuring your Thunderbird or your Outlook software. Okay, you need to put the server, the ports, your username, okay, and that's it. Okay, and well, for email verification, I'm not sure if this email link, no, I'm not sure if the email verification must be enabled some way. Anyway, I will check it and maybe I will do some post or something. Okay, but well, now we know how to handle an account. Okay, how to create a sign up screen, a login screen, how to log out, how to create a forgot password dialog. Okay, so now let's go to the last part. So I'm going to edit this edit profile thing. Okay, so I just want them to write something like their name or I don't know, and I want to store that information on Firebase, but only for this specific user. Okay, so let's create a form, small form, super easy. Well, I could even copy this form in order to finish quick. Edit profile, or well, let's create a group first with padding group form profile. And here I'm going to, oh, this was a group already, so okay. I just need the input and the other input maybe. Okay, and then I will remove this whole group. Okay, and let's add some padding like 24. Okay, and here I want like username input. For example, property, I can write here like username username, and here I can use maybe city, source property.city, city, and use plain. Okay, and you can do more than input text. I mean, you can put a range, for example, maybe for the age input, like from minimum of 13, maximum of 99, for example, and step 1. Okay, and some margin, 48. Okay, well, I guess you should add some label here as well, like text age on top. We still have this problem with refreshing text. Okay, margin 48, and the other margin should be 8, something like this. Okay, so the H input should be stored in this source at property.h. Okay, so this is my form. I mean, you can do more things here, like asking for a picture, things like that. But well, we are going to do that in the next webinar. Okay, next week I will explain how to take pictures from the camera in case you want to create a user profile with images. I will explain how to crop the image, how to rotate it, how to create an image editor in your app, and also how to store that image on Firebase storage, which is a place on Firebase where you can upload files in order to use them in your app. Okay, but that will be next week. Okay, today I just want to set this information on Firebase. So let's create a button. Well, I'm lazy. Let's just copy the other one, the login button. No, this one. Copy and paste it here. Okay, and a save button. So the on click, let's remove this login function. So what I want to do here is to store this information on Firebase. Okay, so well, in lesson 3 we talked, no, in lesson 4, today's lesson 5. Well, I'm using the lesson 4 app, but this is from previous webinar. But in lesson 4, I taught you how to write information Firebase. Okay, so you already know how to do that. So basically, let's go to Firestore. I want to have here a collection of users. Okay, well, I have these ones from the last week, but I'm going to create a collection of users, and I want to create a document in that collection for every single user of my app. So every user will have a document. Okay, and on that document, I'm going to store the user profile, for example. I could store more information, like maybe their notes or things. And I mean, it depends on the app. Okay, but today I just want to store that information, the user profile. So how do I do that? Well, you know the action or the function add. Okay, so I'm going to add it to add firebase.firestore. This is the database, you know that. And then the collection is going to be called like users. I mean, that's up to you, but I'm going to call it users dot. And now I need, well, no, this is the collection. Okay, so in this collection, I want to add a new document for this user. Okay, so how do I set that this document is for my user? So I'm going to use the user ID as the the ID for the document. Okay, so how can you do that? Like forcing a key. If you use the key parameter, so you are telling to use okay, you are forcing to put your own key for this document. Okay, so here you need to put firebase.user.id, same thing as before. Okay, yeah, that's it. And now the values. So I'm going to store here on what, like the username, which is on property.username, I think. Yeah, username. Then city, it's in property.city, and um, h, which is on property.h. Okay, and that's it. So after adding the new document, I just can go to main view. Okay, and well, also I will remove this view from the history navigation. I mean the navigation history. Okay, so it will be stored on Firebase and then it will go to the main view. Okay, so let's download the CTC and export. Okay, I will try again. Okay, let's scan it. Now my scanner is not working. No, my phone is not working. Let's open again. Okay, now. Well, I guess it will go to the main view because there's a session open, I think. Oh no, I logged out. Yeah, for the forgot password thing. Okay, so let's. Well, I guess I need to create a new account, so it will take me to the edit profile screen. So let's create a new account. It's going to be hello3 at fakeemail.com, and again A B C D E F. So I need to yeah, let's put this on true, and I guess it will work. Sign up. Yeah. Okay, now I'm here on my profile screen. So I'm just going to enter my name. Oh, okay, it's because I don't have the enye. We call it enye, this n with a curly thing on top. So city, let's use Valencia, and then my age can be like something, I guess. I forgot to put a label here showing the number, but I guess it will be something like here maybe. We'll see. So if I click on save, it will create this collection users and it will go to the main view. Okay, now I have this user ID. So here on Firebase, I need to refresh. Okay, now you see my collection users. And now you see this user ID. See, it's the same. I mean, this document ID is the same as the user ID. And I have this, oh, 48. No, I'm younger than that. Sorry. So yeah, so you see, now I have a collection of users where every document is for a single user. So I can keep information only for that user. Okay, and this is going to be very useful in your app. Okay, for example, imagine that you want to do some food delivery app. You want to keep the orders of all the users in place. Okay, so you will need to have documents for all the users. Okay, so this is useful for that. So yeah, I guess this is it. Well, I think it was too much information for one webinar. It's been like 1 hour and 20 minutes. Not bad. I normally do longer webinars, so I guess you're lucky today. So yeah, I guess this is a lot of information now. So we learned how to create accounts, how to log in existing accounts, how to ask for a forgotten password, and also how to store information only for one specific user. Okay, so we learned today what is going to be the base for a lot of big apps. Okay, because in a lot of big apps we're going to need this. Okay, if you do these food delivery apps, you do like maps or social apps, or I mean anything, you need users accessing some backend. Okay, you're going to need today's information. Okay, so well, next week, as I said, we will keep talking about user profiles, but then we will learn how to upload photos, how to take photos with the camera inside the app, or how to pick files from the external storage of the phone. Okay, and yeah, and then for the following webinars we will start doing some real app. Okay, so I'm doing this app in the Spanish version of these webinars, where this is we're creating like a social app for people working on rescue tasks. Okay, so they can all be on the same map, and then they can create a mission and join a mission, and then all of them will see their positions on the map. Okay, so this is going to be our target. So for the next webinars, we will start doing that. Okay, so well, that's all for today. Thank you very much for being here, and also thank you very much to all the people watching on YouTube. Okay, not live, but in the future. Okay, so you know that if you have any doubts or if you have any problem, you have, I mean, your app is not generating the APK and you need help, you can always send an email to support@dojo.email. Okay, and yeah, we will try to answer as fast as we can. Okay, and or if you just have questions about can I do this, can I do that, okay, remember that. Okay, and also let me remind you that we're still on the ICO, so you can still buy Dogecoin super cheap. Okay, because we are now working on the backend. Okay, so soon, in some months, you will have to pay much more, like $12 per app per month. Okay, so now if you buy Dogecoin, it's going to be it's only $2. So you're going to save a lot of money if you buy this month. Okay, I guess in several weeks we will increase the price to $3. Okay, so now you have this opportunity to start buying Dogecoin at a super price. Okay, before it gets more expensive. So yeah, nothing more for today. Thank you again, and see you in the next one. Bye.